Your mental health matters. Positive Mental Health Week on Tipp FM.
As part of our Positive Mental Health Week, we are also putting the spotlight on addiction. Last Tuesday, I spoke to some people at AisEiri outside of Cahir about their personal battle with addiction. Steve is with me now. You're into the last couple of weeks or week of your time here?
Last week of my treatment.
Okay. And how are you feeling at this stage, Steve?
I feel good today now, very good. I came in 3 weeks ago and I was a mess really emotionally, and I had terrible drink problems.
Yes.
And I'm cross addicted, so I gambling and drug abuse as well. And I've learned so much about it here, and I've get so much help from talking to people here about my problems, other people with similar problems.
Yes.
And just working through my problems, talking to people about them, and I feel good today now that I'm battling the problems, and
right.
I'm
You've only got a week to go.
Yeah.
What brought you here literally? What was that step that said, look, I'm going to AisEiri?
Well, I was working abroad and I had a good job, and it was things like on the outside looked very good. Like, I was earning nice money. My friends were with me. I was having a good time, and but there was just something missing. I was always drinking too much. I was kind of slacking work. I was missing a few days, and I just wasn't giving it my best. And I knew deep down that I was struggling with the drink, and I was finding it hard once I started drinking to stop drinking. And I was just unhappy, really, really, really unhappy. Things were coming to a head. Like I just found I was very unhappy myself. And I just went on the final straw was I just went drinking one Friday, and I couldn't stop for days. And eventually I just cried out for help. And thank God I got in here.
And do you know the source of that unhappiness?
Yeah, the source was my alcohol and my drug abuse and gambling. They were they were the source, yeah.
Right. Was it that you felt unable to control your life?
I just couldn't control them. Like, as I said, once I started drinking, I couldn't stop. It was next to impossible to stop. Sometimes I used to look back and wonder how did I stop that time? And they were definitely the source of it. Like I used to blame other things. Like I used to blame I didn't like my job, or as I said, I was working abroad, and I thought like if I moved abroad, I might things might be different. That's a fresh start. But no, it didn't. That didn't work. And I was just lying to myself, and deep down I knew, but finally I did admit it, and I feel great to be here.
And I'm thinking for people listening as well who might be in a similar situation to the way you were, what tools did you get here to be able to go out and deal with life again?
Like once you admit that you have a problem with alcohol or whatever your problem is, there's a certain relief, that you've admitted it and that you can just face the problem, that you can stop lying to yourself. And then when you're here, I got to know myself better, who I was, who I am, what I stand for, my values, my beliefs. And like most addicts, I suffer from lack of self-esteem and lack of confidence. Yes. And I was using alcohol mainly to, as a false boost to my confidence and stuff. And then here I just learned I'm comfortable in myself now. I feel I've got confidence. And the tools I get is I can talk to people about my problems. Yes. I get strength from talking to people. I can go to meetings.
You couldn't do that before?
Well, I could talk to people, but you see, some people, if I talk to people who have similar problems to me, like other addicts, other alcoholics, they'll understand where I'm coming from. They know me. That's the greatest thing about this place, is people understand exactly where I'm coming from. When I came in on the first day, there were 10 or 11 other people who were here before me in various, some people might have been their first week or their second week. And I felt at home straight away. I just talked to people, and I really felt comfortable. And yeah, it's been great.
And what about family? Had you distanced yourself from your family?
Well, I suppose I was working abroad, yes, I had, and I'd been working in Dublin, and I was away from my family.
Right. And did they play a part now in your recovery?
Well, my father arranged for me to come in here, so yeah, he did. And my mother has been here as well, yeah. And I suppose what they've done is they've made me aware of how my drinking, say, has impacted them.
Yes.
And the consequences of them, like, you know, which is good because it helped me see that my problem or my addictions were affecting other people as well, because I thought it was just me, you know, I was drinking.
Yeah.
But
and did that confrontation, did that hurt at the start?
Well, you know, confrontation might be the wrong word. It was more, you know, like they weren't angry. They just, you know, I was just
making you aware.
Making me aware, yeah, exactly, yeah. So it hurt, but like I felt much better once I accepted it and like accepted, that I had hurt them, because it gave me the strength to. It gave me renewed determination to fight my addictions.
So you have a week to go. Where do you go after that?
I go home and I start again.
Right. And are you going home with a little bit of fear, or are you going home with a very positive outlook? How are you feeling?
I'm going home with fear might be wrong. I'm a bit nervous, of course, but it's a good it's a good sense of nerves. And like I've been given like the tools. I've been given a good gift here and the ability to tackle my problems. And I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, but I am a little bit nervous. But
all right. Well, listen. Can we wish you the best of luck,
yeah,
Steve? Thanks for talking to me. Thank you. Keith is with me now. Keith, you started here in AisEiri as well. What brought you here?
My life was a mess. My life was unmanageable. I was a slave to drink and drugs.
Yeah.
And I had no other options left. Treatment was my only option, and I took it.
And when you say you had no other options left, I mean, at what point were you? Were you functioning at all?
I was just in my room constantly using and drinking, and I was suicidal as well, and it was either treatment or suicide. They were my options, and I took treatment.
And it got that black?
It was that black for a long time.
Yeah. And do you know what got you there? Is that something you can talk about? What got you to that point? What do you think that was?
What got me to that point is I'm an addict, and my way of dealing with things, my way of dealing with life was to use and to drink, and I thought that was my only option. But I found treatment.
All right. What did you get out of here? What through the counselling here and stuff? What did you get?
I got self-worth and self-belief, and I got the belief that I'm a human being, and there is a life for me, and I have a life worth living now. And I've hope.
And again, like I was saying earlier on, what about going out and confronting all the things that created difficulties for you before?
I feel strong enough to do that now with the help of AisEiri and Cahir.
Yeah.
And the continuous counselling and support that I get from these places and aftercare and my recovery meetings, that I'm strong enough to face these problems without using. Right. Or without feeling the need to use.
And in terms of socially and all of that kind of thing, then I presume you would have always associated a social life with a drink or with drugs or whatever. What about that end of things?
I was in isolation. Like, my social life was non-existent.
Right.
And I didn't feel a part of any social life. But now I want to go out and meet new people and make friends and just live a normal life.
What about family?
Family are good. I got my family back. I got the trust of my family back.
Yes.
And
had you lost that?
I had lost that. Drink and drugs took that away from me.
Yeah.
And coming through treatment and sticking to treatment and recovery, it's given that back to me.
You mentioned Cahir as well, which is after AisEiri. Is that the way that happens?
It's a secondary treatment centre for people who feel they can't go home to their old environment.
Right.
It's a safe platform to grow as a person and to find out who you really are.
Very good. When do you think, at what stage will you be ready now to literally go back home? When will that happen?
I won't go back home.
Right. And have you decided what you will do?
I'm going to stay in Waterford and continue to grow down there.
Okay. Well, listen, can we wish you the best of luck, Keith? Thanks very much indeed for talking to us. Thank you. Joe is with me now. You've been here for the last fortnight or so, Joe.
That's right, Chip.
All right. What brought you here in the first place?
I just had come to the end of the road. There was nothing left in my life. Through alcohol, I had, made myself an outcast through alcohol. Nobody wanted anything got to do with me anymore, and all my friends and my family were, they didn't want me anymore around.
How bad did it get for you?
Well, as I said, my family, and they would be a good family, would have been always very close, but through the alcohol, you know, they had enough of me.
Right. And were you drinking all of the time?
Yes, I would have been drinking. Yeah, drink was number one. It was number one in the morning, and it was number one when I could remember going to bed.
When did you discover that your drinking was very different to other people's kind of social drinking and stuff? When did that dawn on you at some point?
I probably knew all my life, but in the last 2 to 3 years, it would have come into the front, yeah. And yeah, I probably knew, but I probably didn't have the strength to admit it.
And how was it affecting your life in terms of you functioning? Were you able to work? Were you?
Work would have suffered. My social life suffered. My family life. I have 2 small kids, and a partner. The usual fights and breakups and get back together, and trying to stay off the alcohol for 2 or 3 weeks, but nothing ever worked out. Alcohol always won in the end, and the inevitable.
What do you put it down to? And I'm thinking where yourself is concerned, that some people can go and have a drink and they know when to stop, they get up for work the next day. Other people can't. What do you put that down to?
Well, I came to the realisation that I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And it's an illness, and it's like any other illness, and there's only one cure for it, and that's a treatment centre like this, AisEiri, and where you find out the tools of how to control it and how to stop and get back to the road of recovery. And
are you ready for that road of recovery now? Are you well on it at this stage?
Oh yes, I feel I'm well on the way to recovery, and but you need a place, you need the group around you, the other people to relate, and they can relate back to you, and that's a massive help.
When you stopped drinking, how did you feel when you came in here and you had stopped? How did you feel at that point?
Well, yeah, it's hard to when it's in the first stages of maybe you're getting the DTs or you're going through that, and it's very hard mentally, and you're all questions. Will I go in? Will I go on? You're nervous. You're fear. You don't know really what way you're thinking, but there's something at the back of your mind saying, this is the place that I need to go, and you just run out of options. You have no more options. You've tried everything else, and you're willing to try anything at that stage,
Has your family and your partners been involved in your recovery here?
Yes, they have. With AisEiri, they have a program of getting the family involved, and that's a very, very big part of AisEiri, of your family supporting you and helping you through it, and that if you do your part of the side of the deal, they'll do their part of the deal.
So are you looking forward in a lot of ways to going back out into the world, getting back with your family again, doing all of the things that you might have wanted to do before but wasn't able to do?
Yeah, looking forward mightn't be the right way. It's you're literally learning to walk again, and you're taking it day by day. You're taking it, making the program as simple as it possibly can be.
Yeah, and the self-esteem aspect of it that we spoke to some of the other lads about. Were you very lacking in self-esteem, do you think?
Yeah, I was. The self-confidence is gone, and everything that happens, you turn the finger at yourself. You're to blame for everything, and that gets you down. And the depression starts to come into it, and all that thing. But gradually, as the days went on in AisEiri, the first few days, you start to get up, and then a week goes by, and you can feel yourself. Your body comes back together, you're physically, and then your mind as well, mentally. Yes. You start to get that confidence back that you had as when you didn't drink.
All right. Are you feeling better now than you have done in years?
Massively so, yeah.
And you put that down to the program here and how you're dealt with?
Yes, yeah.
Joe, thanks very much indeed for talking to us. Thank you.
Your mental health matters. Positive Mental Health Week on Tipp FM.